Hi, my name is Aravind and I'm one of the co-founders of Dhwani Foundation. We started this thinking about it actually in about 2004, and by 2005 we had registered it as a trust. Uh, but even before that, between 2004 and 2005, we spent a lot of time going around and seeing what the social sector is all about. Our own background was not from the social sector. We came from various corporate sort of careers into this. So we had started from 2003 as donors. So our first exposure to this sector was as donors. And then we said in 2004, we said, could we do more than just give money? How could we contribute time? And therefore went around and met a lot of people. Many NGO leaders, government agencies, consultants, uh, and large donors to see who was doing what. And came back with a few conclusions. The first was that there are already a lot of very good NGOs doing great work. And actually, the world doesn't need another. That was the first one. The second one was the good and great NGOs that we saw were NGOs led by somebody from the same community or somebody with the same cause, somebody who had felt the cause by themselves. And therefore, we found that the very large NGOs which were just scaling were not as good as some of these NGOs which were small and of the community. So these are the good things we saw. The not so good thing that we saw was that even in these good NGOs, with all the passion, with all the effort and the sweat and the tears that everybody working in those NGOs was putting in, the output wasn't very efficient, wasn't very productive. The more could have happened if only they had some minimum processes in place. We also discovered that in a lot of NGOs, everything revolved around the leader like a planet around the sun. If the leader was out of action for even a day, a lot of things just came to a standstill. So then we said that is what Dhwani will focus on. We will, instead of working with beneficiaries directly, will work on NGOs and its leaders to see how we could make them even more productive, even more efficient in the very work they do. We also said that we would not get involved into the core activity of the NGO. That is, we will not talk about domain, which is the subject on which the NGO is working on. We'll do all around it. It would be more a sort of organization development that we would focus on rather than program improvement. So with that as a basis, we have now been at it. Now it's over 16 years now. And we are working a lot with the NGOs, leaders, to see how we will enhance the output, the efficiency, etc. The third thing we came up with after some time was, while there is so much of good work happening by the NGOs, by government agencies, there is a lot of mistrust, there is a lot of less of credibility about motives, about actions, etc., taken up by NGOs or by government agencies. In fact, very surprisingly, in a survey we did, we found most donors said they could not spend all the money they had. And all NGO leaders said that they were going to shut down because they didn't have enough money. So we said, how could we bridge this credibility gap? What could we do to make the two see the same thing which is happening in the field? So with this we started this program called Nirantara, out of which came out other programs, all of which are about bridging the credibility gap, about improving productivity and efficiency, increasing transparency, etc., etc. And those over a period of time have become what Dhwani is about, what its focus is about, and what its aims and objectives are. More recently, we are asking ourselves, why are we beating up only the NGOs to change, to improve? Why are the others in this ecosystem being left alone? Why should the NGOs alone have to change to meet their requirements and not vice versa? So, just in this last year, we have started working with donors to see how we could make them smarter, more efficient, more tuned to the needs of the day. How could we work with academia to see that they are going to devise courses which are more meaningful for the sector? And we want to work with the government to see how the government's interface with the sector, with the social sector players, will lead to even more productivity and efficiency than it already is. So this is what Dhwani is about now. This is where we want to go and make our little contribution to the overall social sector space. Thank you.